Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another Bobby Reacts video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. This is one of those better late than never videos where we're going to be checking out all the balance changes coming up in the next update for Call of Duty Mobile. Is Season 6 of 2025, and we have some interesting changes to say the least. I'm not mad about this one. I still don't think, especially as far as the USS goes, that it's sufficient, but it's actual changes to meta weapons. So at the end of the day, I'm not mad about it. First off, as you can see, we got a nerf to the VMP. A nerf to the hipfire spread on it, I don't think is going to be something that impacts it in a major way, but given that it's a top 2 gun, anytime a top 10 gun is nerfed, I'm at the mindset of top 10 gun getting nerfed, never a bad thing. I know people like their Mythic. I know people are probably enjoying this just because it's not the USS 9 and it actually competes with it. But at the end of the day, if a top 10 gun gets nerfed, I am never going to be mad about it. So I'm not mad about the VMP getting a hipfire nerf. USS getting a headshot nerf is definitely a big W. That means that it can no longer 2-tap to the head in the second damage phase. So once again, any type of nerf to the USS, I am always going to be happy about. Ultimately, it's not going to change a ton. It's not like people are regularly 2-tapping, but at least it kind of removes those infuriating situations where you miraculously get 2-tapped from across the map. So I'll take it. USS probably still the #1 option, but maybe not by as big of a margin as before. Tiger Team Barrel got a decreased mag size from 1 to 2. Given that the Tiger Team is a go-to barrel, this is once again not a bad thing in my eyes to kind of even the playing field. I still don't see people switching away from the Tundra. Ultimately, the lethal zones, the mobility, the ADS time, all of that makes it worth it, but at least bring it a little bit back toward the mean. We got a buff to the AS Val range profile increase from 923 to 1125, so 2 meters in the first and second damage phases. We also got the Piranha foregrip gets a 4% horizontal recoil reduction buff. I've never used that attachment, so I'm just going to assume that that is a good buff. HDR leg multiplier increase from 1.1 to 1.2. Maybe that impacts like wall bangs and stuff, because I'm pretty sure the HDR one-shots anywhere on the body, if I'm not mistaken. Looking over here, we got a kilo buff. Increased lower arm multiplier from 1 to 1.1. Should increase the, I would presume, the 3-tap consistency, although I'm not 100% positive. I haven't looked at the stats on the kilo in a hot minute. Integrated suppressor light, 2% movement speed buff, and 12% strafe buff. That's actually going to be very interesting. I've never used that attachment, but those are 2 really, really big buffs, so that could make it a little bit more of a solid flex assault rifle rather than just a straight-up post-up AR. We got a KN-44. My light has gone out. RIP. I'm not even going to bother with it. Increased lower arm multiplier from 1.1 to 1.15. Ranger increased horizontal recoil reduction buff. Okay. I mean, both of those are solid changes. KN was already decent. Gets a little bit better. I don't see either of those making a massive difference, but definitely quality of life improvement at the bare minimum. ZRG reduced ADS time from 480 to 460. Nothing huge, but once again, decent quality of life. Not mad about it one bit. HBR BSA improved by not a massive amount, but at the end of the day, it's a subpar AR. We'll take any buff we can get. Headshot multiplier from 1.3 to 1.4, and chest multiplier from 1.2 to 1.3. I don't know if either of those are going to make it capable of 3-tapping. More steps in the right direction. Once again, I would love to always see more nerfs to top guns than buffs to bad guns, but I'm never going to complain about a buff to a bad gun, 100%. Razorback BSA improved from 2410 to 2010. I don't see that making much of a difference, to be completely honest with you. Rytech increased mag size and reduced the ADS time by 40 ms. That's actually a pretty big reduction. That's something that I think is going to be worth checking out after the update for sure. M4 LMG damage profile 32-23-19 to 32-26. That's only for BR, so I don't really care about that. RPD increased aim assist strength for BR. That's interesting. Have we ever seen a buff that increased aim assist? at least one that was specifically stated. I don't know that we've ever seen them actually vocally say. We've seen them say that they've reduced the aim assist on a specific gun, but to increase the aim assist is very, very interesting. For the Vargo, and this is one that I'm sure people, I don't know what this is, but the Vargo is poo-poo, so I know a lot of people have been asking for a buff. Movement speed, pretty substantial buff. M3 Ready Grip gives you extra 3% sprint speed. M1930 Madsen, I don't know what any of these attachments are. Increased horizontal recoil reduction by a little bit. No stock added 6% strafe speed. And the 60-round drum mag reduced damage range penalty from 30 down to 10. Hopefully all of those make it feel better. I mean, this is definitely the biggest buffs of any weapon that we've seen, but the Vargo was certainly in need of it because it was useless. S36 getting a BSA buff from 1810 to, or 2010 to 18.6. That could be kind of crazy. 2010 to 18.6, especially for the opening BSA to only be 6. You don't really need to build out for BSA all that much. And S36 is really underrated. Headshot multiplier increased from 1.2 to 1.3. That's going to help its 3-tap consistency. And the stomach way, this might be the biggest buff of them all, at least from what we've seen. S36, I'm not going to say it's going to be meta, but this is one that was already very underrated. And I'm very interested to try that one out post-buff. Bruin MK9 lower arm multiplier increased from 1 to 1.1 and increased reserve ammo to match other weapons. I don't know why it wasn't like that in the first place. Operator skills, grav, reduced recharge speed, tac, reduced recharge speed. I don't feel like either of those were operators that need to be nerfed, but once again, I'm never going to complain about a nerf. Wraps, increase the cost once again. I still don't see it being enough for people to not use it, but not mad about it. Martyrdom, increase the detonation delay by 0.25 seconds. Not enough. Just revert the buff. Just revert it back to 2 seconds. Were there actually people complaining about it? I am happy they increased they buff flak jacket. That's a big W. Any type of like defense, like trophy buff, flak jacket buff, dauntless buff, always a good thing. Do that more, please. And they nerfed Demo Expert from 40% down to 30%, so that's a W. Cryobomb can be destroyed by explosive damage now. I didn't know previously that it couldn't be destroyed by explosive damage. That's kind of insane, so I'm glad they did that. Quick Strike, damage increased. I'm assuming this is for BR, right? I don't recognize... Quick Strike's a BR thing, so I'm assuming that's what that is. Overall, I'm not mad about these buffs and nerfs. I think this is one of the more decent ones that we've had recently. S36 is a very intriguing one because I could see that being borderline top 10. We'll have to see what the numbers actually end up playing out to, but let me know you guys' thoughts on the buffs and nerfs in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.